So, here again, working. Just, I guess I wanted to elaborate on how people don't really know people. And this is from my experience, obviously. Under some levels of oppression, I was very judgmental to people. I'm sure I still am to some extent on the political views. As you may know, right now is a very daunting time for the American people, and it's quite tough. More than just the government slashing, people losing their jobs, the economy crashing. We've got a hands full. And to find people who support this consistently, right? And it's not just one or two bad thing here and there. It's just like it's consistently just like garbage, trash, like throw it in the dumpster type of thing. And obviously, you almost support someone like that or something like that. It makes you look at them very badly, rightfully so. And it's important to say though that people are generally uninformed. And I was like that at some point, and so I'm doing what I can to sort of teach people and sort of show them the way. But without having a good relationship with those sort of people and be even to some level friends, right? Because you want to convince family as well, but even friends, you have to have some level of trust and understanding with each other. A stranger, I don't even know what you're gonna do with a stranger. Strangers, you have no connection with them. You don't know who they are. It's not. But someone close to you understands you knowingly. You say whatever you think it is that's bothering you to them, and they'll generally be receptive. To some extent, they'll be receptive. And yeah, so I had a person was very supportive of the Trump administration, and I've always sort of came to this inclination of that people are somehow trying their best, still hearing from people who speak to others more than me, who know more than me, and a part of me tries to see it through that worldview, and I couldn't see it until I experienced it myself, where people were trying their best with what the information they had. And that goes to show that people aren't exactly as malice as you would say, as one might think the other person is, even with being actively ignorant. We hold our beliefs so close to our heart that we're not willing to change them. We're not able to see reality for how it truly is. And what are you gonna do? And I think a lot of people, you think that's something to be learned. I think that's like a big key thing about everything in life. Like anything can be learned, Like I think that was like a big part of me too. Growing up, that more than anything can be learned. That anything can be learned. I was always under the inclination that like if you're good at something, you're like generally gonna stay good at it. There's talents pretty much revolve around people's lives. I think to some extent that's true, but I think I'd like to put a heavy limit on that, just because you truly can be anything you wanted if you just put your mind to it, right? Like our brain, like studies have shown that brains are literally they change till like you die pretty much. They're very neuroplastic, right? It's not till you're till you're like 25. Like that's totally false. You can learn new things, develop new habits, totally possible. And that also comes with something that you're not good at, right? Like you're like I've been sucky at this since I was a kid. I don't want to, I don't feel like I want to do this. But if you want to change that, you're all you need. While it might be harder, it isn't going to stay hard forever. So I think what I'm trying to say here is keep at your best, do what you can, keep trying, and eventually it won't feel like you're trying anymore. And then you can have fun with the next thing. But keep up